Bing bong, back with another video. This week's video, I'm going to show you how to use just an iPad and Procreate to make your t-shirt design. Even if you got Photoshop and you got Illustrator, I still think Procreate's one of the best things to have. There's a lot of things you can do to detail and add to designs that you wouldn't be able to do with Illustrator, at least unless you're like a crazy good graphic designer. But I'm not here to teach crazy good graphic designers how to do stuff. I'm here to teach the average person who's just trying to make their own brand. So for this one, I'm gonna break it down and just show you what to do with Procreate, how to make it into a printable PDF file, and yeah, we're gonna get into it. All right, so for this shirt, I'm gonna be doing like a 90s theme. So this is what I'm trying to get to right here, is this design right here. So I'm gonna show you how to break it down step by step. All right, go to gallery, and you wanna pull it up as just your screen size. Once you get over to Photoshop or whatever program, you can make it as big as small as you want, but for now, just for the sake of doing this video, I'm gonna just make it the screen size. You can always change that later on. First thing I always do is I go through and I get rid of that background color. I don't know if you can see it in the video portion of this, but there's a very faint line around the picture where the screen actually was, so you know exactly where to work within. All right, so let's go ahead, put in our first image. To add an image, all you do is you hit the wrench, hit add, insert a photo, and this is one right here. So hit that, throw that in, and then you can actually make it as big as small as you want by just holding two fingers on it and dragging it wherever you need it to go. So I want to move that close to the top there. So I need to go in and I need to color in all these letters. Easiest way to do that is take this, pull it over to that, and just let it fill in. You can actually drag it left and right to either leave that outline or completely color it in, which is what I'm trying to do. Let me go ahead and just fill these in real quick. Too much. Okay. Too much again. Nope. This actually comes in handy too, because like I had a image that I just wanted to change the color of the hands. The hands were skull hands that were purple, and I wanted them to be white. So you're able to go in and just change colors of specific little parts of your image, which really comes in handy more than you think. So make sure you remember that trick right there. All right, so now we have the all that guy. Go ahead and add in the next thing. So let me show you this. So what I want to do is I want to have some VHS tapes, right? So I'm going to look up VHS tape images on Google. And right here, that's the image I want to use. So save the photos. Now, it's got a background on it now. So to get rid of that background, there's another app that's a free app called the Eraser app. All you do is load in a photo. I'm going to load this bad boy in right here. And make sure you have it on auto. Pull it over to the background that you want to get rid of. And voila, just like that, it's done. See, you can turn it to white to see exactly what you got rid of. So save that. It's going to ask you to do this stuff. Don't worry about it. Just hit done. And now, next thing is, right now as it stands, that's a realistic picture. Now, I don't like realistic pictures on my shirts. I'd much rather have a vectorized image, which kind of looks like more of an illustrated image. So what we're going to do is we go over to this next app, which is called Vector Q. Vectorized photo. Go ahead and just add that in there. Vectorize it. And voila, just like that, it looks like an illustrated image. Now you can actually go through all of these, and it's like different filters you can put on it. But for the sake of the video and the actual design itself, I think what I want to do is I just want to keep it as a pure vector how it was before. Okay, now same thing, share. And with anything you're doing in clothing design, you want to make sure you save everything as a PNG. That's what makes sure you don't have backgrounds in your images. So go ahead, save this as a PNG to your photos. Go ahead, go back over to Procreate, pull that bad boy up in Procreate. Like I showed you before, hit the wrench, insert a photo, and pull that in there. Boom, done. Okay, so make these a little bit smaller. Let me see the whole thing. Make these a little bit smaller. Pull them over here like that. All right. So on these VHSs, I want to have some writing. Now, this is another reason why I like Procreate so much, is because of Procreate, it allows me to have more ability to do custom things. Now, I want to have this written out in what looks like a homemade handwriting, like as if somebody had a homemade video and they were writing the labels on themselves. So what I do is I go over to this pen right here, and you have all these different brushes you can use. You can also get brushes downloaded there's a lot of free websites that will let you download free brushes. Like I have all these splatter brushes that I just downloaded for free that I love. So for this, I want to do sketching, and 6B pencil is the one I want to use because it has more of that like home written feel to it. And another great thing about writing this stuff in Procreate is you can change the perspective to make it look like it's actually written on there, whereas like on Photoshop you would have to use the perspective tool and everything. This just makes it a little bit simpler. So let's write this out. Alright, boom, just like that. Alright, now I've showed you how to get rid of the background and how to vectorize an image, so I don't want to go through that again. So the next image I have is the old Nickelodeon logo from the 90s. I was going to do the 90s logo, but I looked it up and it turns out the 90s logo is actually the foot. And with everything that came out about the foot logo, don't think I'm going to use the foot logo on this one. I'm just going to go and use the regular splatter logo. So insert a photo, boom, and right there is my splatter logo. All right, let's take that, put it right there. Now I don't want it to be in front of the writing I just put on the VHSs, so I'm going to go over to layers, hold that down, and I can move it wherever I need it to be. So I'm move it right there. Now, once again, I gotta fill in these words right here. So what you do is you gotta get that color exactly, tap on that, and that'll bring up this little icon that'll get you the exact color that you want to have. So put it right there. Drag this down like I did before. That didn't work. Drag this down like I did before. And like that, it's colored in. Now as you can see, you can still see somewhat of the old writing, and that's normal sometimes. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go and I'm just going to color this in by different brush, drawing. Let's try this one. Nope, that'll work. Make this a little bit smaller. And then another thing, if you have everything separated into layers, you don't have to worry so much because it's not going to show up on this layer. If you had both these layers in the same both pictures in the same layer, it would. But since they're separated into different layers, you can just color on this however which way you want, and it won't show up on the next picture. So boom, just like that, it's all filled in. Now for that Nickelodeon logo, I want to add a little bit of splatter to it. So like I showed you earlier, I got these splatter brushes. I'm just gonna pull this one up, faux arc splash, and you can hold it down or double tap it, and it'll bring up different spacing and jitter and all that you can use to get a different pattern on your splatter. But I'm just gonna go with what they have there. Throw a little bit of speckle in there, and this one, and voila, that's the splatter I wanted to make it look like it actually goes out a little bit more into the design. There it is. Okay, so this is the splash I was looking for right there. Make that a little bit smaller. Just like that. Next thing I want to add in is I want to put wording in his mouth. So to do that, hit the wrench and hit add text, and that brings up your text right there. So let's do always. Okay, now I want to change the font to something more cartoony looking. So all you do is you tap on that font thing right there and pick out the font you want. This is the font I wanted to use, but you can also go to 1001 Fonts or Duff Font, and you can download a font. It'll automatically save it to your files, and then you just go into your files, double tap it, it'll save it as a non-zip file, and then hit this import right here, and it'll pull up all the fonts that you've downloaded. And it'll, once you tap it, it pulls it right into your Procreate app. So right here, you change the sizing a little bit. So I want to make this red. Change that to red. Okay, now I'm going to move it down here. Now if you want to move it to change the design of it to make it like, you know, kind of angled or twisted, hit that little arrow there, and you can hold that, and it'll make it just like that. Now we go ahead and add the next word in. One of the reasons I put this in too is because I wanted them to be a little bit tighter together rather than just putting these one words, just like that. Always tired. All right, voila, and just like that, we have our image. Now I'm going to write something in here too. I haven't decided what exactly yet, but regardless, I've showed you how to do that. If you decide you want to make your own design using the Procreate app, you have all the tools you would need here. All right, so there you have it. There's the video. I've showed you how to get rid of backgrounds, the difference in brushes, how to color stuff in, vectorizing images. If there's anything else you want to learn on how to do a Procreate, please leave a comment. I'll be happy to show you. I can make a video showing you how to actually draw and what techniques to use when using the pens. Anything you guys might want, just leave a comment. I'll be happy to do it. All right, so that's it for this week's video. Again, as always, any comments, anything you want to see, any other tips or tricks you want to see with Procreate, please leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed it.